Hey guys, I just want to give you guys a reminder that I am doing a giveaway. I have reached 20,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for your guys' support. I'm giving away my Hair by Pierre hair butter oil mix and body glow butter oil mix. I usually sell it on Etsy and I'm currently giving it away for free to a subscriber that enters into it. In order to enter, you have to go to the previous video called 20,000 subscribers. Thank you. And in the comments, make sure you leave a comment saying enter, your Instagram name, your email. Make sure you like that video. Make sure you're subscribed to me and make sure you're following me on Instagram. And yeah, enjoy this story time. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel of Storytime and Style. So I have already completed the majority of my hair. These are mini twists with my TWA. I made them like, I guess I made them like a little, I feel like it's the same size as last time, but my hair is a little bit longer from 3 weeks ago. I can tell because I was able to twist some of the parts down here. Before I was only able to finger coil this whole section. I could only finger coil, and now I was able to actually twist them. The only part I had to finger coil was this very nape area, so I know my hair is growing a bit since the last time I did this, which was about 3 weeks ago. Alright, so on this episode of Storytime and Style, I'm telling the story of the time that this guy gave me a baby on the Greyhound. Okay, so when I was in college, I told you guys in my last video that I used to go to Maryland, or I'm from Maryland, and I went to high school there. So when I was in college, I would go there very often to visit my friends. My friend Donna moved to PG County to take care of her grandmother. And she was living in Hyattsville, I believe, at the time. And in Hyattsville, the Greyhound only goes to like, well, the closest Greyhound to Hyattsville was Silver Spring and I think DC. But Silver Spring might have been closer, but Silver Spring wasn't a big stop, so it was not the normal stop I would normally go to. I would usually go to usually because I was from Columbia. Columbia is closer to close to Baltimore. I would just go ahead and go take a Baltimore Greyhound, and that was like a major stop for it, so it was really easy to get a bus. So so this time I had to take the Silver Spring one. So I was waiting for a bus, and I'm sitting in the lobby waiting for the bus to come and to head back to New York. There was a guy that had come into the lobby of the Greyhound and sat across from me, and he says to me, do you know what time this bus, the bus to New York leaves? And I said, 3 o'clock. I looked up at him because I was on my phone. I looked up at him and I said, 3 o'clock. And I went back to looking at my phone. And he said, oh, okay, thank you. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. So about 30 minutes later, the bus comes. I get on the bus. So I sit down and I realized that the guy who had asked me what time the bus was coming was about to get on the bus with his baby. He had a baby in his hands. I don't know how old I would say the baby looked. Maybe a year old, I don't know. He was between, I would say, 8 months and a year and a half. He wasn't 2 and he wasn't younger than 6 months. I don't remember how old he was. He probably told me how old he was, but I don't recall. So he gets on the bus with the baby and I'm sitting in my seat. So he gets on and he says, oh, I forgot my hat. And he says, he comes up to me. I'm sitting in my seat with my headphones in. Excuse me, do you mind holding my baby for a second? And he takes his baby and he puts the baby out at me into my chest, and I'm like this, and he's like, thanks, and he walks off the bus. I'm like, what the hell? So I'm standing there with this baby and I'm looking at it like, what the hell? And the bus is about to leave like in 2 minutes. So I'm standing there for a good minute and I'm like, where is this guy? Is this guy really leaving this baby with me? Like, this isn't my baby. Like, I'm not about to take care of nobody's baby. Like, what the heck? He gets back on the bus with his hat and he says, oh my God, thank you so much. And I'm thinking to myself, yo, he literally left his baby with some random person on a bus. Is he serious? Is he serious? So I was like, I don't know. Honestly, like, I feel like in this situation that when I go finish the story, you're gonna be like, what the heck? But sometimes, like, I feel like it's hard to react in certain situations that are so strange come to you because you're like, I can't believe this is happening. So you don't react because you don't know how to react. But if you're in a situation where you've encountered before, it's a lot easier to like know what to do. But in this situation, I didn't know what to do. So I'm kind of just going along with what was happening. Just a disclaimer. So The guy sits behind me. The guy takes his baby and sits behind me. Mind you, there's plenty of space on this bus. And he sits behind me. So I'm like, whatever. So I could tell, like, you can, as a woman, you can tell when a man is like trying to get your attention or trying to like you can tell when he's interested in you. Like, you can just sense it. They don't even have to really even be flirting with you. You could just kind of tell, like, this guy's trying to get my attention. Like, all right. So I could tell he was trying to get my attention, and I wasn't trying to talk to him. He wasn't any interest to me. Whatever. He sits behind me, and I'm listening to music on my earphones per usual. So this guy says to me, he starts talking to me. I don't recall exactly what he was asking me, but he was kind of small talking, thinking of things to ask me, thinking of things to say to me, and I'm just like, okay, like, I'm trying to listen to music, I'm trying to enjoy my ride. Oh, by the way, I was sick. I had a cold, and I didn't have, my sinuses were acting up, so I was sniffling, and I couldn't breathe that well. So I was irritated as it was because I was not feeling well. He keeps talking to me, and I pull out my earphones like, what do you want? And he just keeps talking to me, and he's like, oh, I have a question. Do you do hair? And I'm like, yeah, like, why? And he's like, oh, great. He gets up out of his seat, and he sits next to me, and he says, can you braid my baby's hair? And I'm like, what? Like, what? He's like, yeah, like, his baby, by the way, his hair was in a ponytail, and it was like a puff. And he was like, yeah, can you braid my baby's hair? This guy looked like he might have been my age. He looked my age. It wasn't like a creepy looking guy. Like, he could dress. Like, he wasn't ugly or anything. Like, he was like decent looking. He just wasn't someone I was interested in. So I was like, braid your baby's hair. So I'm looking at his baby's hair, and it looks like it hadn't been washed in, like, I don't even know how long. So I was like, sorry, like, you know, I'm on a bus, I can't, like, do your baby's hair. And he's like, no, like, you know, can you just braid it? Like, you know, like, I don't know, like, if you could just braid it, like, you know, just, you know, I'll hold him, and you can, you know, braid his hair. So I'm looking at his baby's hair, and this baby is like, so I'm like looking it through it, like, okay. And looking back on it, like, who I am now, mind you, I was like 20 years old when this was going on. I'm 28 now. So as it was happening, I was like, now how I am now, I wouldn't even touch the kid's hair. But at the time, I was like going through it, and I was like, well, sorry, like, I need a comb to braid this child's hair. Like, I don't have a comb. Oh, you could just use your fingers. Like, why don't you just use your fingers? And I'm just like, okay. So as I'm running my fingers through this baby's hair, his baby's hair is so tangled. Like, this, like, legit baby had not had his hair detangled in, like, I don't know how long. The baby starts fussing. So I said, sorry, I can't do it. He's gonna fuss. Like, we're on a bus. We have to be quiet. So that was my way of getting out of braiding this kid's hair without having to say no. So the guy starts to talk to me some more, like, oh, so where are you from? Like, asking me, where are you from? What do you do? Are you here? You know, the regular. And I'm like, trying to be nice. And I'm like telling him, like, oh, like, you know, I went to school out here. I go to school in New York, you know, blah, blah, blah. So he was talking to me. Okay, this man talks to me I'm not gonna go into what he was talking about, because I really honestly can't remember verbatim exactly all the things we were talking about. But he tried to talk to me the entire ride. Okay, so from Columbia or from Baltimore, it's a 4-hour drive from Baltimore to New York on the bus. Okay, sometimes if you skip traffic, it could be 3 hours, but I'm in PG County, so it's an extra 45 minutes, so it was technically an extra hour. So it was like a 5-hour ride, and this man want to talk to me while I'm sick the entire ride. Sitting next to me, that I did not invite him, is a whole bus full of seats, and he wanted to sit next to me. I hate when guys do that. All right, anyway, so I'm like talking to him, like, okay, like, I keep putting my earphones back in. I finally realized he's not gonna stop talking to me. Honestly, as the person I am now, I probably would have told him, look, I'm trying to enjoy my ride. I want to listen to music. Can you please, like, I'm sick, I don't feel well, can you please go over there? Like, I probably would have told, as I am now, I probably would have done that. But because, I don't know, I just didn't know, I was just trying to be nice. So he keeps talking to me. So it starts to get dark because it's the evening when we left. It was light when we left, but it was like in the early evening. And as we're driving, it starts to get into late evening. And so he's like, oh, like, I'm gonna go to sleep. Can I put my head on your shoulder? And I'm like, no. And he's like, oh, why not? Like, you know, I could just, you know, my head's hurting, the seat rest hurts. Like, you know, can I just put my head on your shoulder? So I told him, no, like, no, I don't know you. Like, I don't want your head on my shoulder. And he's like, but why not? Like, I could just rest my head. Like, you know, you have the window. Like, I'm thinking to myself, Nick, yo, I didn't ask you to sit with me. Like, are you serious? You can literally go back to sitting behind me and sit by the window and lean your head on the damn window. Like, seriously? So, whatever. So, I'm like, no. So, he's like, okay. So, he's like, oh, my baby's asleep. Can you braid his hair now? Maybe he won't, you know, he's asleep. Like, you can braid it now. I tell him, it's dark. I'm not braiding your kid's hair. Like, pretty much, I start to get, like, irritated. And I'm like, it's dark now. I can't see. I'm not braiding the kid's hair. Oh, okay. So then, he starts to fall asleep. I'm trying to fall asleep because I'm tired and I do not feel well. So, I lean my head against the window and I start to, like, go to sleep. This man starts to go to sleep or doze off, and as he's dozing off, he's doing this. And eventually his head gets on my shoulder, and I move my shoulder like this. And he's like, oh, well, hey, okay. And I'm like, yo, if he does it one more time, I'm popping him in his head. So at this point, I'm starting to get really irritated. And I'm still being nice, but like I'm at a point now where I'm a little bit more like, I guess hostile is the word, or more aggressive is the word, because I'm not like, I'm just annoyed. Like, why are you here? Like, I didn't ask you to come here. And this is the thing, men are so entitled. They swear they can just do whatever they want, and like women are just supposed to, yo, I swear. So anyway, so okay, he wakes up. He doesn't put his head on my shoulder again yet, right? Yet. So the baby wakes up and the baby's crying, and he's like, oh, my baby's hungry. And so he goes in his book bag and he pulls out a Chinese food box and an orange soda. He starts feeding this 1-year-old or 8-month to 1-year-old Chinese shrimp fried rice. Why are you feeding a baby? First of all, you're not supposed to keep rice overnight. Technically, people do it, but you're not supposed to keep rice overnight. Rice has so much bacteria in it. You're not supposed to keep it overnight. They say if you put it in the refrigerator, like the coldness supposedly helps it last longer. But honestly, rice isn't really something that you want to preserve overnight. So he gives this baby, and I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, yo, I don't even have kids, and I know this, like, and I'm 20, like, at the time. He pulls out the rice and starts feeding the baby the rice. The baby's eating the rice. The baby could eat solids at this point. It's not like he's eating milk. So I asked him, like, where's the baby's mother? Because I'm like, I can't believe the mother left her baby with this man. So he tells me, you know, oh, the mother, you know, and the mother don't get along, but it's his weekend or something. And he's going to go visit his sister in New York. And that's why he's going to New York to visit his sister with his baby and all this stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay, like, whatever. And it's so funny to think, because I'm 28 now. That baby's 8 years old or 9 years old now. But anyway, so I was like, oh, okay, like, that's weird. I wouldn't think a baby would leave their 1-year-old, like, yeah, but I'm his dad. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. Like, I just wouldn't think a baby would leave her 1-year-old or whatever. A mother would leave her 1-year-old. And he's like, yeah, but, you know, I'm his dad. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, whatever. So he whips out the orange soda. He cracks it open. He puts a straw in it. And he gives the baby orange soda. The baby is drinking this orange soda out of the straw. Now, this baby was really tiny. Like, he told me the age of the baby. Now, the baby was, maybe the baby was 2. I don't remember, but the baby was like 1 year old at least. The baby looked so small that he looked like he was like 3 months or 4 months. Like, he looked less than 6 months, but he told me the baby was like almost like, was like 1 year old, almost one and a half. Something like that, enough to like, he was supposed to be walking. This baby couldn't walk. So I'm like, oh, the baby can't walk? And he was like, oh no, he can't walk yet. And I'm like, why can't he walk? He's like 1, like, what? And he's like, oh, like, he just can't walk yet. And he looked really scrawny and really skinny, and he looked really small for his age. And so I was like, yo, what is up? Yo, and I told him, you know, you're not really supposed to feed babies Chinese food, right? You're not supposed to feed babies soda, right? And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, like, that's really not healthy for them. Like, it's not like good nutrition for a baby. I forgot what his response was. I think he was just like, oh, well, he eats this all the time. Or like, well, I'm his father. Like, I know what he needs. Or he said something like in defense. And I just said, you know what? It's none of my business. Like, whatever. feeds the baby goes back to sleep. And so whatever, I try to zone out and go back to sleep. And the guy then does the same thing again. He sits there like this, starts to nod. And I said, excuse me, can you like not nod your head on my shoulder? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you know, you should just let me put my head on your shoulder. And I'm like, no, you could just lean back or lean your head the other way. I don't want your head on my shoulder. But why not? I don't understand. I said, look, I'm sick. I don't feel well. You don't want my germs anyway. I can't, you're making me claustrophobic. I can't breathe in this space when you're so close to me. Like, I need you to just like stay in your own space. This is what I said to him. And he said, oh, okay, you know, what, no problem, fine, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Oh, okay, well, you're sick, you know, like, you know, if I come closer, it might make you feel better. I'm like, no, no, I'm okay. I need you to stay in your space. That's it. So he dozes off again, and he does it again. He starts to nod. This time, I'm like, yo, if this man puts his freaking head on my damn, I'm gonna pump him in his head. He puts his head on my shoulder. I go like, I like do like this to my shoulder. His head pops up. He's like, oh my God, oh, whoa. I said, I told you not to put your head on my shoulder. I told you not to do that. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, you know, I fell asleep. Like, I didn't notice. I'm like, yo, this man, like, I'm gonna pop him in his face. We arrive in New York at Port Authority. And so I'm getting ready to leave. Like, I already prepared to leave. This guy's getting on my nerves. Like, I don't want to, like, talk to him. I don't want to be around him anymore. So when we arrive, I have myself ready. Have my purse. I used to carry around this really big purse. Like, it was like a big purse. And it was like leather, and I used to carry it around everywhere. And I had it on the floor when we were sitting, like, on the bus. And so I'm preparing to get off the bus. And the bus stops, and oh, by the way, the entire time we were driving, this man kept dropping this baby's pacifier on the floor. He dropped this man's pacifier on the floor like 5 times. Every time he picked it up, no. Did he sanitize it? No. Did he get a new one? No. He put it in his mouth and then gave it back to the baby. I know people do that. I've heard of people putting pacifiers in their own mouth and then giving it back to their baby, but honestly, that is the most disgusting thing ever. Like, a freaking bus floor. Like, you pick it up off a bus floor, and you give it to you put it in your mouth and give it to your baby? Are you serious? So whatever. I'm starting to think that this baby wasn't even freaking his, because the way he was just acting, either he was just really irresponsible, or he didn't know what the hell he was doing, or he kidnapped this baby or something. I don't know. So whatever. So I was preparing to get off the bus. So he says, oh, I can't find my baby's pacifier. So I'm like, it's probably on the floor. You dropped it. Like, you dropped it like 10 times on the bus. So he's like, no, like, I can't find it. Like, you know, I think, you know, it dropped in your purse. And I'm like, I don't think it dropped in my purse. I have to go. And he's like, can you just look in your purse really quick? Like, so I go through my purse. I don't see a pacifier. I'm like, I don't see the pacifier. He's like, well, like, I had to fall in your purse. Your purse was right on the floor. I think the pacifier fell in your purse. Maybe you look again. You have a lot of stuff in your purse. Like, I used to have a lot of stuff in my purse. So I was like, seriously? I'm like, so he's like, can you help me look on the floor for it? Can you help me look? There's no one on the bus anymore. I'm like, seriously? I look on the floor real quick. I'm sorry, I don't see it. He says, well, can I get your number so that I can, like, call you, so you can call me just in case you find it, like, you can give it back to me? My dumb ass gives him my number, and I say it really loud. I say, number 4, blah, 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 as I'm getting off the bus. I didn't really think that he was going to, like, catch the number. I'm like, all right, sure, whatever. It's 914, blah, 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 555, 555, 555, 555. So I'm getting off the bus and saying it. And so I go home, and I'm like, yo, this job is crazy. I get all the way home, and it's now, time has passed. It's now, like, maybe, like, 11 o'clock at night, midnight. This guy calls me. He really wrote down my entire number. And I did give it to him, so hey, what am I gonna do, right? He calls me and he says, hi, it's so-and-so from the bus. Like, did you find my baby's pacifier? I'm like, no, I didn't find your baby's pacifier. Well, can you look in your purse? I already did. Well, can you look again? I'm like, look, I don't have your baby's pacifier. Like, can you not call me? Like, he's like, no, I think that you have my baby's pacifier. All right, well, I'll check again tomorrow to see if you have it. Like, you know, and you know, since I'm in New York, maybe we can, like, hang out and, like, you know, we can meet up tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, you know, sure, let's do that. Yeah, call me tomorrow. I block his number because I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, I'm over this man. Like, he's crazy. Like, I'm not going to try to, like, convince him of anything or tell him no or anything, I'm gonna just block him. So I just blocked his number, and that was the end of that. But yeah, that was a crazy story. And I remember telling my friends about it, and they were just like, what the heck, are you serious? And I'm like, yes, this guy was like annoying as heck on the bus. He wouldn't leave me alone. So yeah, that was a story time that I experienced on the Greyhound. And that is the end of the story time and style. I don't remember everything verbatim exactly, or every little thing that happened, because when it first happened, I was telling the story bit by bit to people, because I was like, this is what he did, this is what he said, but I don't remember everything he said now, so I can't tell you guys everything he was saying that was weird or anything, but that was pretty much the gist of the story, and it was a weird one. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. Please, just as a reminder, if you guys want to send me stories for me to read and give it my opinion, or if you want me to give you advice on anything, whether it be hair related, a Q&A, questions, anything like that, want to tell me a story for me to read off and then read it off and give you guys my reaction or my opinion or my advice on it, and shout you out or not shout you out, please make sure you send me your story to HairByPierre@yahoo.com, and I definitely will feature you guys in my video if you'd like to be featured. Yeah, so this is the end of my twists. They look really good, and this should last me like 1 to 2 weeks. I'm gonna try to make it last 2 weeks, and yeah.